Hi, this is Gautam. For today's episode, we're going to look at Brahmaputra River Basin. So, as you all know, the major river Brahmaputra starts in the Tibetan Plateau, and after starting from the Tibetan Plateau, it crosses into the Himalayan mountains, that is specifically the eastern part of Himalayas, and then it enters into India, and then finally it goes into Bangladesh. So, we have the river taking westward turn. Okay, in the syntaxal bend in the northeastern part of India, and it is customary to note that it's kind of mimicking the turn of the Himalayan mountains itself. So that is why you have the river basin here. And second thing, you know that Brahmaputra predominantly flows through the state of Assam in India. Of course, the drainage basin, of course, is spread over several states, but it kind of divides the state of Assam into two. The major reason why we need to understand is that Assam is technically a plain surrounded by mountains. So, if you take most of the tributaries of Brahmaputra, they originate from the surrounding mountainous regions and then they flow into Assam. This also includes the Garo Kasi Jaintia hills, which are present in Meghalaya. So, rivers start from here also and then start with Brahmaputra. So, if you look at rivers, too many rivers are there. So, what we'll restrict ourselves is to the major tributaries of both left and right bank. So now let's start with the major tributaries which are present on the right bank side. So here we have Brahmaputra called as Yarlung Zangpo in parts of Tibet and China. And then when it turns towards India, it is called as Siang and then Dihang. Siang in the upper course and then Dihang in the lower course when it enters the gorge. And from there, we have many tributaries, as I mentioned here, but we'll just focus on the major ones. So, if you look at the major right bank tributaries, we have a river Subansri, and after river Subansri, we have Kameng, and after Kameng, we have river Manas. You know that Manas is again a transboundary river system spread over parts of Bhutan also. And after Manas, finally, we have Teesta. And you know that Teesta passes through Sikkim and starts from the state of Sikkim and then joins Brahmaputra. So if you look at the major rivers which are present on the right hand side, these are the major things to remember. And I've told you several times, when it comes to mnemonics, we create something illogical or absurd which helps us to remember things. So we are talking about Brahmaputra, right? So Brahma is the creator. So keeping Brahma in mind, let's talk about a very simple word to remember. So, my request for you will be to just think about this word kismet. Kismet, right? As I told you before, vowels usually don't have any meaning whenever we try to complete sentences or words. That only helps us to remember better. So, kismet simply means fate. So Brahma decides fate, so Kismet is fate. So here are the major tributaries. That is K standing for Kameng, then we have S for Subansri, then we have M for Manas, and then finally T for Tista. So right hand tributary is just remember Brahma decides fate, so he's the creator, and that's all. Kismet, that's all. One more time: K for Kameng, then S for Subansri, and then we have M for Manas, and then T for Tista. That's all. Now coming to the left hand tributaries of Brahmaputra, I just scroll down. We have the major tributaries starting from Debang, and after Debang we have Lohit. Both are very close to each other in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Then we have Disang, and after Disang we have Dansiri, and after Dansiri we have Kopili, Kopli or Kopili. So now, how exactly should we remember this? So this is the order from western to eastern side, and the challenge here is there are different D's here, so we don't want to get confused on the rivers in case they ask you to arrange from western to eastern side or eastern to western side. So for that, I'm going to again draw a ridiculous cartoon. So think about a Coke bottle. Okay, a Coke can. Fine. So here we go. There it is. Coke. Right. We'll give it eyes and yeah, we make it smile also. That's Coke for you. Fine. So what is it doing? Well, Coke is dancing. Okay, koda. So dancing. Okay, so let's say it is dancing. We'll put some music symbol here. It's dancing right there. I think you can visualize it. I've told you before. You've seen it several times in the previous videos. Objective of mnemonics is to be absurd and illogical for us to remember things. Fine. So what is it dancing and what is happening around it? Well, let's think about a dinosaur. Di. Okay, dinosaur. Very bad at drawing cartoons, but let me try something here. Yeah, it is not a proper T Rex, which is very scary, right? There you go. Some of you might be wondering it doesn't look like a dinosaur at all, but it's okay. So, what is the dinosaur doing? It's laughing. Haha, there you go. Laughing. So, L. So, here we go. Coke bottle, dancing, dinosaur, laughing. So, K stands for Kopuli, uh, dance. So, dance stands for Dansari. Dino, so you'll never forget this word DI. So, Dino stands for Disang. And then laugh, L stands for Lohit. So now we have to remember debung, right? Dabang. So for this, I just ask you to visualize this. Think about both of them doing this. Where? Well, on the head of a deer. There you go. There it is, deer. So the word deer stands for debung, DE. So those are your left-hand tributaries of Brahmaputra, starting from western to eastern side. So K for Kopali, and then we have D for dancing. The Coke bottle is dancing, right? And with that, we have the dinosaur, DI standing for Disang, which is laughing, Lohit, and then they are standing on the top of a deer's head. So DEER. DE stands for Dibang. Okay, Dibang. I made a spelling error there, right? So Dibang right there. So now let's finalize one last time. Okay, hope you remember. River Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra. Wait for consolidation. Brahma decides fate. Fate is Kismat. And the major tributaries include Kamang, Subansri, Manas, and Tista. So we had Subansri, and after Subansri we had Kamang, and after Kamang we had Manas, and after Manas we had Tista. There you go. Simple. And maybe we just say the Putran had a very weird dream. So what happened in the dream? Well, in the dream there was a Coke bottle which was dancing, right? Dancing. So here we go. So K stood for Kopili, and then we had dancing. DA stands for Dansari, right? And we said that the Coke bottle was dancing, and then the dinosaur was laughing, right? So DI, you know what it stands for? DI. The reason why we skip this dinosaur is to remember these words DI, which stands for the sun. And then we have Lohit. Then we have Lohit right here. And lastly, so where were they doing this? Well, they were doing this on the top of a deer's head. So DE. So DE stood for Dibang. There you go. That's the order from western to eastern side. So always remember when you take river systems like Indus or Ganga or Brahmaputra, there are too many rivers to go about. And what you've done is just corner the major ones alone, just for remembering their names for the prelims examination. So that's it for today's video. The one major river basin which is pending is Indus River. I'll try to upload it in within a span of 2 to 3 days. Once that is done, maybe 2, 3 river minor river basins may be pending that I'll upload leisurely. But anyway, the major ones have already gotten completed as part of the series. Hope it is useful. Happy morning, happy learning. Bye bye.